All right. We got Juan, Jasim, and
You
you are
are
watching
watching
NSTV. Perfect. Thank you, Jasim, for
That's it,
joining.
right? Thank you.
And all right, so you pick a couple tweets for us. I have some. And let's go.
Yeah, let's start.
This is the first one. McDonald's CEO.
Yeah, I like that. Look at it. So he's been criticized because of some drama that's been happening online, and then he said, "Okay, well, I showed everyone up. I show you how I do it, McDonald's, but look how he fakes it and then like puts it away live and say, oh, good. Look, he takes it out."
Oh, wow. So you're saying he actually
Didn't eat it. So,
Didn't
so,
eat
so
it.
He took a bite and then, yeah, he spewed out. He's like, oh,
That is crazy. That is crazy. McDonald's CEO dropped a video to shut down rumors that he never eats his own McDonald's food. Bro takes one bite, chews twice, then spits it straight into a napkin like it's radioactive waste. This is crazy. Like, you have this entire idea of like tech founders being like, okay, Mark Zuckerberg, he would build Facebook, Instagram, but he wouldn't let his kids use
Use it,
Instagram.
yeah.
I think food is even bigger.
Yeah.
Like if you belong to, let's say, the educated class, if you know what goes inside the food and stuff, you want to keep your kids far away from that.
Correct. So I brought it to the table exactly because of that. So I want to know what is your view on exactly the same. I was going to bring Mark Zuckerberg as an example as well, that he wouldn't
Yeah.
let people use, he wouldn't let his family, his kids use those platforms, right?
Right.
So it's the same for this guy. He's running McDonald's, but he wouldn't eat it ever. He would never do that.
Yeah.
What kind of other companies you think doing the same things?
This is so interesting because just yesterday we were talking about peptides and
Yeah.
this entire idea that America kind of has this culture of fast food, and the solution to the problems that fast food creates is fast medicine.
Yeah,
Which is again
peptides.
peptides,
Yeah.
Ozempic, stuff like that. That okay, you are not trying to go to a gym, you're not trying to eat good and do it more sustainably, create a system around it, and try to adopt good habits where you get the results slowly. Instead, you are again like just injecting things in your body. Like okay, I'm gonna be on a monthly subscription.
Yeah, this brings me to the Wall-E movie. You remember Wall-E?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's the same thing. It's like everything is just done through technology, and that's just sad. What you just said about peptides is really interesting. How they're really trying to, okay, we're gonna solve a problem with another problem,
Yeah.
right? Instead of just changing the culture and getting people to do more workouts and less fast food, and the government itself, like they allow the US to inject so much trash onto the products they consume. So if you're going to consume a Coke, like a Coca-Cola in the US, it doesn't have the same ingredients as in Mexico or in Colombia or in Russia, for example, right? Do you know Russia is organic? Like you are banned for life if you are selling or producing non-organic food, and everything is organic.
Crazy.
Everything.
Crazy.
Every supermarket you go sells only organic things because every farmer has to do organic. If you are caught using Monsanto, boom, you go jail.
Wow. You go to jail.
Yeah, you go jail right away. What?
Okay. I know there's this thing, right? Like people feel that, again, somebody picked this topic up in the recent conversation, but it's like when you go to Europe, you feel that the food is different. You are
Yes.
able to digest the food better.
Yes.
You feel good after eating the food.
It is. So it's actually United States has this trend about gluten allergies, which is only happening there, which is very funny. And I'm a chef, I'm a cook, and I know why is this happening, and I know why do people from the US says they are allergic to gluten, and why Italians eat gluten all day long and they are skinny and very healthy, right? Is because of the process. So what happens is that bread in actually everywhere in America, north and south, is produced in hours. So the bakers wake up at 3 a.m., go prepare the dough, bake it by 6 a.m. and sell it by 7 a.m. So it's a bread that is being just like done in 3 hours, whilst Italians, make their sourdough and their pasta and their pizza, and they ferment it for 2, 3, 4, even 20 days. Like it's a fermentation process that just breaks down the composites into different, like it's just different. The enzymes are not that bad. So it's not gluten, it's just you are allergic to fast bread. You're allergic, it's basically fast food as well.
Fast. Yeah.
So the bread is not fermented, so your body is not able to digest it, and you're definitely gonna feel bloated. You're definitely gonna feel bad. It's not gluten; it's just fast bread.
Right. Right. So interesting. It's like it was very interesting the way we were talking with a friend. You kind of start connecting the dots, and you start creating this pattern that there is fast food. What is peptides? It's fast medicine. What are we into these days? Fast money. All the rich who get rich quick schemes are like fast money, crypto even, and then you see other patterns. It's like yes, there fast friendships where there are these apps now that I think again one of the bookmarks that came up recently, which was America has a America or in general people technology has a way of solving the problems that technology creates with more technology. Technology created isolation,
Yeah.
which means people lost friendships, deep friendships.
Then they
People
create-
stopped going outside homes, and now to solve that, we are again creating a lot of friendship apps. And then you forget that wait, you can just literally go out and talk to people, and that solves. That is how you build friendships.
Yeah, same as dating. Nowadays, people don't talk.
Exactly. Fast dating.
People don't approach people on the street. They only text. If they want to invite somebody out, they go through Instagram or through Tinder or whatever, instead of just going out to the mall or to the yoga class and say, hey, you look great, give me a number. It doesn't happen so often anymore.
That's true. That's true.
That is true.
Do you go to the mall and approach?
I have a girlfriend, so
Oh, you have a girlfriend. Okay. How did you meet her? If you want to share.
I approached her in a cafe. She
Let's
was
go.
sitting there alone, and I say, oh, I see you're sitting alone, you're waiting for someone. She says no, and I say, can I buy you a coffee? She says, okay. I bought it, I sat down. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the way to do
that
it.
was it, yeah. Yeah. That's it. Then another coffee next day, then another coffee next day.
Slow.
Yeah. 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 It was good. And it was low, it was old school. We didn't even kiss for like 2 weeks, even though we were going out every day. And I was trying to even touch her hands, and she's like, what are you doing? It was great. I loved it. It was very good. Whilst, the fast dating is crazy. Tinder dates, one night stands, keep going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Really cool. All right. Let's look at the next one. You got this one just in. El Salvador's president has an approval rating of 94%. Looks like people support safety.
Yeah, and look what he's done with the country.
Right. I saw this video.
So, he's basically placing the country as a business. He's a great businessman himself. He's an entrepreneur. And how he's got the country from a very dangerous and poor country to a very safe, it's actually super safe. I would say it's the safest country in Latin America right now. Well, there is Chile, and then there is this, is Uruguay, and then El Salvador. Bringing it from the most dangerous to the safest place, and from the poorest to the fastest growing, and how it is being filled up by entrepreneurs and tech leaders, and just, I'm sure that very soon it's gonna be also a digital nomad paradise. They are building it for it, and they are launching 2 new schools per day until they finish the whole program of schooling schooling in the country. So it's 2 new schools every day. I don't know how many are they gonna do, but as I understand, it's like 6 months of running just new schools, just opening schools all over the country.
It's really good.
And just what you see, he placed all the vendors in specific malls. He just made everything clean. It's just a different place.
Yeah.
It is just not a slum anymore. Now it's just beautiful and clean and structured and safe, and he's been um,
And this is like in
attacked
4
so
years?
much. Yeah, in 4 years.
Yeah.
Well, he's a dictator. He's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are no elections going on. He's just not getting down. But well, it's 94%.
Right.
Why would he even
Right.
try to do that?
Right.
People loves him.
Right.
Even though NATO, like, the European, um, yeah, Council, they hate him because of what he's doing with the prisoners. But it makes no sense that they are doing that only for propaganda. But the guys were so bad. Like the gang was incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
Why do they even care that he's running a mass trial? He ran a mass trial with 428 of the top prisoners they had, and he got attacked and criticized so much, and they say you are just not going with what we stand for and human rights and etc. And he's like, what are you guys talking about? They literally killed millions of Salvadorians, and they cut limbs of kids and raped. Like, they are monsters. Like, so you don't agree with me, but you agreed back on in World War II, in the same trials in the Nuremberg. Like, what's going on? Why did you agree with that with Nuremberg trials, but not now? And
Yeah.
so I admire him a lot, and I'm actually thinking that at some point there is hope. When I see this, I say, oh, there is hope. There is hope for the other places that are also fucked up. There are many other places that are struggling a lot. Yeah.
No, definitely, definitely. It's very cool. I think Balaji also talks about Bukele, and obviously first how he came onto my radar was when he launched the Bitcoin thing, that okay, Bitcoin is a legal tender in El Salvador. So that's when I first heard about it. I'm like, okay, big experiment, massive experiment. And now looking at this, definitely he's doing something right. Same thing is said for Lee Kuan Yew. A lot of people, actually it's very interesting, even Brian Armstrong, who is the CEO of Coinbase, he recently shared that, oh, I'm reading like top 4 books, and one of the books was From Third World to First, which is the book by Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore. We are looking at the entire Singapore right now over here.
Yeah.
And that entire book is, again, it's about Lee Kuan Yew talking about that to make something like this happen, you have to be a benevolent dictator. You have to be very strong with the decisions that you want to make, and not everybody's going to be happy, and things are going to move fast.
Well, that's what he's done. There is 6% of people that is not happy, but
Yeah.
that's significantly
Exactly,
small. Like,
exactly. You
nothing.
never hear 94%. I don't think you ever
Oh.
hear 94% approval rate. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just great, and that's exactly the right word for it. Benevolent dictator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about let's say, is it influencing the countries around El Salvador? Because the countries are around Latin America, they are in the same situation.
Mostly, yeah. Guatemala, Belize, yeah. Well, Costa Rica is like a very good country. Costa Rica is safe. You know, Costa Rica doesn't have an army.
Okay, I don't know
They
that.
do not. They do not have armies and police.
Is
which
Costa
very
Rica part
safe.
of USA?
Kinda,
Yes.
yeah. If you have a Costa Rican passport, you can. Yeah, basically you can just. It's the same as Puerto Rico and Costa Rica.
Right. Okay, I don't know exactly. I confused between Costa Rica and Puerto Rico.
So Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. Costa Rica
Right.
is not. But if you have a Costa Rican passport, you can live in the U.S.
Okay.
So it's pretty similar. Puerto Rico is a country, but it's governed by the U.S. Yeah. Costa Rica doesn't have an army, which is great. It's a very safe place. They have civilian police. So you can be a police, you can apply for it, but just like to have some kind of authority within your neighborhood and area. But they don't really have an army. Like, they don't need it. It's a safe place. Same now for El Salvador. Well, they have it, but now it's super safe.
Yeah.
It's a great place. Is it affecting? I doubt it, but I'm sure at some point it's gonna spread.
Yeah.
Because what happens is that El Salvador is tiny. It's a very tiny country like Singapore.
Right.
That's the reason why it's been he's been able to do what he's done so fast. Singapore was built in 2 generations, like
Right.
from the bottom to really be the, yeah, I would say it's the biggest JVP in the world. It's the second. The first one is in Europe. Yeah. So these guys do the same, just bringing it up.
Especially for the shipping port. This is the world's second busiest or second, I don't know, whatever, but first is somewhere in China and then second is Singapore.
Yeah.
In terms of the shipping industry. Really cool. Anything you know about Bukele and how he had his rise to power?
No, as most of the people I heard about him when he started that program of eliminating the Maras. So before that, no much noise was made. I didn't hear much. No.
Okay. Cool. All right, let's see. I also bookmarked this one. This is pretty cool. Elon summed up his entire philosophy in 3 words. My philosophy is, that's actually 2 words, right? Curiosity and adventure. No
Yeah.
corporate fluff, no mission statements, just pure wonder, plus the balls to explore the universe. He's him.
Go to the moon in order to establish it. I hope more people can get behind a philosophy of curiosity, because I think it's very exciting and inherently optimistic, because there's this amazing sense of wonder about the nature of the universe. And when you just uncover some secrets of the universe, that's amazing. A whole world of understanding is opened up. We used to not even know where all the continents were. We want to try to reach new heights as a civilization. So I think that we should go to the moon in order to establish a lunar base, like a lunar research base. There are parts of the moon that are perhaps older than parts of Earth. We might understand more about the nature of the universe if we had a science base on the moon. We also want to go beyond the moon to Mars and build a self-sustaining city on Mars. I think that that there is a folk mirror of human destiny where if we can establish a self-sustaining city on Mars, with the key test being if the resupply ships from Earth stop coming for any reason, does Mars continue to prosper or does it die out? At the point at which Mars is able to prosper and grow on its own, the probable lifespan of consciousness is dramatically greater because we're no longer dependent on everything going right on Earth. There's always some possibility of self-annihilation on Earth with World War III or super virus or a meteor like that destroyed the dinosaurs. We know from the fossil record that there have been many mass extinction events. So the question I sort of am always wondering about is, will the civilizational arc continue to ascend such that we can make Mars self-sustaining before the civilizational arc descends? Because the window of opportunity to make life multiplanetary exists now for the first time in the 4.5 billion year history of Earth.
I like this guy so much. He really wants us to get into Mars, and that's great. I find valuable what he says about the moon. Like if we go to the moon and establish a lunar base and start researching, we might be able to find out a bunch of new stuff that we don't know now. And I don't know how soon would it be that he would be able to get us a self-sustainable city in Mars. But if that happens, I would like to go.
Yeah.
And to the moon as well. Imagine taking a selfie with instead of having a moon view, you have instead of having a sunset view, you have like a earth view,
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
Yeah. No, definitely new. Yeah. That we totally new. I think sometimes I also used to think about like, what is the point? What is the point of this? We should be just happy with what we have today, because it's like you thinking first time that, let's say you're from Colombia, right? And the first time you moved from Colombia to New York, let's say, and there was a first time when you were like, okay, you were dreaming in Colombia, you were dreaming about your life in New York, how it would be and all of that, and then you moved, and then obviously first month, let's say, everything was novel and you were having really fun, but then again you are adjusting to that's called hedonic adaptation. You are now adapted to this new reality. You're like, okay, now I want something more. Where do I go now? And then you're like, let me go to network school. So it's like, and then again 1 month later you are adjusting to it. You're like, okay, now this is normal. What do I want more? So on one side it feels like, okay, we should be happy where you are, but on the other hand it makes sense that again we are constantly creating. It's one of the books that Balaji recommends. It's called The Frontier in American Society, which is like when the European settlers first came to America, they were constantly pushing into the free land, pushing into the West, and as they kept pushing into the West, it kind of self-selected for a quality of people which was like self-reliant, pragmatic, egalitarian. So it creates identity. It selects for quality of people who are trying to go for the frontier. And now that we have pretty much covered the land, now the two next frontiers are up and down. So it's like space and ocean. So it's very interesting. I think humans kind of need the next thing, the next big thing to kind of align ourselves. But at the same point, there has to be a balance of also enjoy what we have today. So yeah.
Yeah, and also not much about enjoying what we have today, but fixing what we have
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Instead of spending so much money, time, and energy on trying to go to the moon and to Mars, why don't we fix what we have?
Yes.
We have so many issues in
Yes.
this planet. Yeah. It's like trying to scale, but not being prepared to scale.
Yes, yes. I think it's very interesting. I think growing up, I was in high school, and there was this one. When I was in high school, there was this one kind of, I don't know, debate or something, where in India, when India was investing in their space program, the head of the space program received a letter from from a person in a small village, that why are you throwing all this money out in the space when we don't have food to eat? And he gave this entire response, and I forgot what he exactly said, but basically the idea is that, number one, if I think there were multiple things. It's like the smartest people in the world optimize for something, and you need to give them a really hard and good problem to optimize for, because if you don't give them that, they will be optimizing for something else, and that something else might not be really good for society. Like, let's say a bunch of people optimizing for converting ads, like we still have today. I think you know Palmer Luckey and all these people who work in American defense, they are like, we just go to these big tech companies when we want to hire smart people, and we go to them and be like, hey, do you want to work on something that matters in your life, or do you just want to keep optimizing for ads and kind of like sell your soul to a big tech company? So, you know, stuff like that. So I thought that was very interesting. And number two, the idea was that working on these really hard problems also indirectly solves a lot of problems for Earth, which is kind of hard to justify, or hard to, it takes time to figure that out, that what is that exact thing that we get. Because it's just like building a startup, right? Or building a company. When you are small, you're doing a bunch of experiments. You don't know what's going to work.
That's right.
And then one thing starts working, and then that makes money.
And one thing brings to the other, right? It's like
Yeah.
the iteration process. And as he says, like the level of consciousness is gonna significantly grow if we get multiplanetary.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure at some point it's gonna help humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I see it as an opportunity to really appreciate, as you say, to enjoy what we have, to really appreciate what we have here. Because I'm sure if they say they're gonna build a sustainable city there, let's say it's like an NS, right? It's like the same place, it's tiny, it's just always the same, and let's say you want to go to the Amazon, or to the Sahara Desert, or to something like that, like the waterfalls, the Niagara waterfalls, like you won't have that there, right? It's just red powder everywhere. So I would be very grateful to be here. This place is beautiful. And plants and trees and all of that, I'm sure they could have it there, like somehow within the city they want to build. But here we have a whole planet. There they want one city.
Yeah.
We have thousands of cities here.
Yeah.
So for them to get to that point, I think I'm not gonna be. Maybe we'll be able to. So on that regard, one of the goals is to increase the lifespan as well, right? Like how long can we live? What do you think AI is gonna be able to do for humanity in 10 years in terms of our health? How long can we live? Do you think it's possible that AI will help us live longer?
Yeah, I think the downstream effects of making AI very accessible and very cheap is going to be massive. Like today, when I want to build and go something hard, I want to build something hard, I still need a Claude Pro Max subscription. Like I need to spend $180. If that amount of energy is, or that amount of, let's say, compute is available to everybody at a very cheaper price, and everybody, because everybody wants to optimize for something, and basically if everybody has AI, everybody has really good amount of compute, then everybody can go and run their own experiments and keep updating everybody on X, something like that. And Brian Johnson is one example, right? But he's just one big example that we know. And we know that he's kind of running more of N of one, I don't know what we call it, but he's running more of a N of one experiment, where he's not doing like study cohort analysis that, okay, this new gene therapy, what happens in this 30 people, and if we keep following them along for 6 months. He's just doing everything on himself. So we don't really know what is working, what is not working. But we want more Brian Johnsons. We want more people experimenting things. And everybody is constantly, like we have Longevity Network over here. They are experimenting with red light therapy and stuff like that. So I think that's it. Like, how do we get everybody easy access to knowledge, compute, so they can keep on going and running their experiments, keep us all updated, aligned, what is working, what is not working.
Yeah, I'm sure very soon it's going to be way cheaper.
Yeah.
And talking about Brian Johnson, what do you think about him? What do you think about what he's doing? Do you think he looks healthy?
I'm not closely following him. The only thing that I know is that earlier he was very, let's say, focused on the optimization part, and not, it's like when you build a company, you need to not only building a great product, but you also have to figure out the marketing. Both are, and both work together, both have to work together. So earlier he had a great product, or at least he had great science going on, the substance was amazing, and now he has become really good at the marketing aspect. So that's all I know right now, but I don't know exactly what he's doing.
But from the looks, have you seen him like lately? Have you seen his videos? Have you seen his looks? How does he look to you? For me, he looks unhealthy. For me, he looks like he's been doing too many experiments, and some of them might be fucking him up.
Right.
When I see him, I'm like, dude, you look not healthy at all. I don't know, it's weird.
Interesting. He's definitely doing a lot of cosmetic stuff.
Yeah.
He has started like injecting stuff in his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, it's like, it kind of gives me that those vibes of vampire, but the ones that really suck blood to be young again, and when they stop sucking blood, they start getting like very old. I don't know, I see it and I'm like, oh, I don't even want to try it. Dom takes his supplements.
Okay.
Brian Johnson's supplements, and I'm like, bro, I don't know.
But I think he's not doing the cosmetic surgeries, right?
No.
Or the cosmetic whatever therapy.
No, he's not, but he's taking the supplements. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe supplements it's okay, but I don't know. I'm a little bit. I'm not saying it's skeptical. I'm a little bit concerned. I'm like, okay, I'm watching, and I wish you the best.
Yeah.
But you don't look good.
Right.
It's like by the looks, I'm like, wow, bro.
Right. I
like
used
not
to
very
also
healthy.
I used to just think about this idea that man needs adventure, and it seems like he has built a prison around him of following this routine, which is blocking him from actually exploring and going on an adventure. I really like this. I don't know, recently I'm really on this idea that, okay, burning down my identity, burning down my life, and kind of going for the next evolution. Like we basically just wrapped our life in Vancouver, and now I'm over here, and now again I'm about to wrap this life and go to my next place. And I think that evolution is something that is, it's like rebirth.
Yeah.
Totally changing the way how you think. And to do that, I cannot build a prison around myself of this.
It's too much. It's like too square. I feel it. Yeah. Talking about Mars, I wasn't talking about the lifespan.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if I'll be alive to see that.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if Elon himself is going to be alive to see that. But if he plans to do that, so he might be alive to see it.
Interesting. It feels like they're gonna figure this out.
He believes so.
I I
He's fully
think
sold on the idea.
all these agents and all this technology, like they already have XAI, all this stuff should be able to run faster and solve. Like the stuff that we see today that they have built with SpaceX, that was built with human coding.
Yeah.
When when they start using Claude Code to code all that stuff and design all that stuff, it should be faster, many more experiments. They should be able to run many more experiments. They should be able to figure out things fast, automate bunch of things. I think someone who is actually building physical stuff, I'm really excited to see how fast they can now go.
It's the same kind of process that we follow in our lab
That's right.
with our R&D process. The average R&D process takes like 3-4 years from R&D to market, and it took us 9 months with GPT 1.5.
Amazing. So, and what was the average before?
3.5 years.
Let's
It
go.
took us 9 months.
This, let me show you this. This is what we were looking at yesterday. You saw this?
Truly generational. You have to go all in. My name is Michelle Lee, and I'm the founder and CEO of Medra. Our number one priority is to work with our customers to help them with their science. Instead of saying, let's open a lab, we thought to ourselves, why couldn't we open the largest lab? A new paradigm is emerging. Physical AI, this idea that you can actually teach robots. You can teach them almost in the same way that humans learn. At Medra Lab 1, our robot can work 24/7 around the clock. All the parameters, all the nuances, all this like artisanal nature of science logged and captured, so our AI scientists can also learn from it and use that data to improve the science going forward. This is not a prototype. This is something real. We're already running in production with biopharma companies like Genentech. And now we're scaling it. 38,000 square feet, 100 robots running 24/7, built to scale scientific breakthrough right here in the United States. This is just the beginning. This is Medra Lab 1.
Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So basically you can work with them and get them to do the R&D for you. Wow.
It's just like, how do you put these agents into a loop where they are good at coming up with experiments, and then you give them a task to go and interact with the reality, which could be the stock market, which could be a physical robot, which could be self-driving car, which could be with your wearable, your health wearable, and then take those results from the reality, again, go back to the agent, okay, evaluate, come up with more experiments, go back.
Go back,
So
yeah.
how do you keep your AI in a loop? And this is a great way to put that into a loop with lab experiments. I think NVIDIA has just invested in Eli Lilly to make something similar, autonomous labs. So it's like, how do you just keep coming up with experiments, keep coming up with ideas, and keep interacting with reality? Take back the results, loop.
You just gave me ideas. That's awesome. I love it. We do that, of course, with the manual input, right? It's like we use quantum and AI to help us run our formulations and tests. So with there is something called annealing, right? Which gives us the probabilities of the best results, to find the best results out of the list of hundreds of formulations that the AI is giving us. Through annealing, we get to choose 10 that are like the most, with the ones with the most highest probability of success. Then we gotta go to the lab, and humans have to run the tests. Then they feed that info into the agent, and then there is a loop. But that space where the humans have to do it, I would love to automate that as well. If that would be possible through these guys, that would be amazing. That would be just a breakthrough. Great, I love it. And AI learns much faster, and it can be much more knowledgeable than humans. So just by seeing this, I'm sure medicine is going to change quite soon. Probably the cure to cancer and HIV and all this stuff.
Oh, totally. Did you come across this one thing where one of the tech bro, he saw that his dog had some sort of cancer. He found that his dog had some sort of cancer, and he started researching on Claude, whatever, and he found a solution to it. But then there was some problem because he couldn't actually reproduce that, even though he had the solution, due to some patent issues. And then he ended up kind of figuring out, back channeling and figuring out, or reverse engineering and creating that solution by himself. And he saved the life of his dog.
Wow.
It's crazy. I don't know if I can find that right now, but you should. Maybe I'll send you later on.
Wow. That is awesome. Wow.
So it's really cool.
Claude is, yeah, just crazy.
Yeah.
It's another bookmark I had,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
but I didn't send it. I kept it.
Okay. What is that about?
How some Claude team member
Hmm.
teaches how to use Claude in 30 minutes
Hmm.
and how you literally can create any piece of software and research software within hours. Just within hours, you can create insane advanced tools, like within hours. And before that took months and a lot of back and forth and learning. Now it's like Claude is learning every second from all the experiments being run around the world. And I'm sure there is people creating massive stuff. And then Claude has that knowledge that then we get access to. It's just like it's growing so fast, it's scary at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just scary.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's really cool. I think I would love to figure out, okay, what is that one way how I can interact, how I can put an agent into this loop, because that is very exciting. That is very exciting.
Getting the agents into the loop is the key. Once
Yes.
you can get them like fully looped, then as this lady said, 24/7.
Yeah.
You just run experiments 24/7.
Yeah.
That's it. Just it. Give me 1 second, please. I have to go meet Kara.
Okay. Wi-Fi is pretty good over here.
Good. Let's do one more and then we go.
All right, cool. What's the next one we got? Oh yeah, let's look at this one. When something becomes abundant and cheap, someone else becomes scarce and valuable. This is basically talking about the fact that now that the thing that we're talking about is the magic that AI agents bring, but what is the downside of AI agents? That the burnout. Spin up more agents, ship more code, sleep less, outwork everyone. For a while, it feels incredible. You can keep multiple agents running, all that stuff. The problem is that the work no longer drains you through typing, it drains you through judgment, more attention, more context switching, more verification, more decisions per hour. So instead of 8 to 10 normal productive hours, you might get 4 to 5 extremely intense hours before your brain is fully cooked and you feel numb until you sleep properly and reset. Thoughts. The agent can keep working 24/7, the human still has a hard limit.
Wow, I never saw it from this perspective. So instead of 8 to 10 normal productive hours, you might get 5 to 4 extremely intense, and then you're drained because of the amount of decisions and things going on your head. I mean, you might be drained, but still 4 hours only, and then you can just rest and go work out and reset.
Yeah.
And not only that, like, it says something else becomes scarce and valuable, and that would be like, let's say, AI art versus human art, right? Like, you're still gonna pay somebody to make a great sculpture, an organic piece,
Yeah.
right? And there is art everywhere. Now AI art, like, a bunch of my friends in Bali, they have great villas, and there is this trend of, there is a brand in Bali, an e-commerce brand that gives like very nice frames like luxury frames for villas, where you can send your image, then they print it in different qualities and materials, so you can have like texture paper and some stuff, and then you put it in your villa as a piece of art and etc. So it's very cheap to
Yeah.
do art now. And I went to my friend's house and I saw this piece and I was like, wow, it's awesome. This is beautiful. And he said, oh yeah, I made it with Gemini, and I paid like $50
For the frame.
for the frame.
Yeah.
And now it's here, and I'm like, oh.
You should have told me that.
Yeah. Like designers, illustrators, they're getting, like, I don't know, yeah, just vanished
Yeah.
because of AI. But at some point, some other kinds of art that still AI cannot make, like sculptures and some like hand paintings and stuff like that, they become more valuable,
Yeah.
right? Like art is an asset.
Yeah.
So digital art, illustrators are, they don't have a chance right now, or maybe they do using AI, so they work faster. But anyways, there are many other tools getting out there for you to do the job without even having to hire a designer or an illustrator.
Yeah.
So they might be having a hard time. But then the other side is like the plastic arts are getting more valuable. They are more organic, and people still like to see that.
Yeah, yeah. I think when you say this Bali house thing, it reminds me that I recently just saw this one villa, and this guy was kind of showing his place, and they had this massive wooden main door, and it was hand carved by a guy, and he kind of recorded that entire story. So it's like, it's also interesting. I think it's really hard to even verify what was made by a human, because AI is so good that AI can also create an imperfect art that I can go and sell to you as if, oh, human made that. I can sell you a pot right now which looks a little bit imperfect, and I can be like, see, it's not that perfect, it's made by a human. And you're like, prove to me. How's that, how was a human involved in making this?
Yeah, it is. Well, in digital things, hard. In plastic arts, I think it's easy, of course, unless you have. Well, there might be already some robots that paint for you. I'm sure that's not hard to replicate. But anyways, I'm sure you still have the chance to hire a real artist to do some stuff for you.
Right, yeah. I feel the sharing the story behind the art has become really important as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A piece of art should have a story behind it.
totally.
And art is art, anyways. It's just a piece of something that is not really useful.
Yeah.
But people has been collecting it as assets for years, and I think it's more like a tax evasion strategy that became very popular. But in the end of the day, art is beautiful as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
It goes both ways.
It
gives
ways.
artists a source of income. It gives the owner a source of evasion.
Evasion. Yeah.
Anyways, that's a good place to end this. Thanks for joining.